Hello and welcome into the first edition of F1 Gamer Dad's iRacing official race broadcasts. We're going to aim to bring you a race broadcast at least once per week. We're not going to be featuring leagues, we're not going to be featuring other hosted events. What we're interested in is that sweet iRating, so we're going to bring you official races. You won't know when they're coming up. You won't know when you're in one. We will notify you afterwards, of course, to let you know that we have broadcast one of your races on YouTube. But this is going to be a bit of a work in progress. We're here today at the fabulous Okayama for the Global MX-5 Fanatec Cup. We are Season 1. We're Week 8 of Season 1. Not sure why it displays Week 7 there. So we're at Okayama in Japan. This looks to be a fantastic opportunity for some of these drivers to give us their best. We'll aim to feature as many of the races as possible. Of course, we're going to focus on battles when they eventuate throughout the track, but we will try to keep it even and broadcast as many people as possible. We are 1 minute and 30 seconds away from going green, finishing up the latter stages of qualifying. One of the quirks of broadcasting an official race is you can't get into the session until it officially starts, so a couple of minutes has to go to setting up the broadcast, and then we find ourselves deep into qualifying, which also is probably not what we want to be broadcasting anyway. So 1 more minute. We have Haiyan Jing, an Australian, on top of the timing sheets at the moment, with a 1 minute 44.68. We then have a big 0.8 of a second gap to Sebastian Guest Jr. And rounding out the top three, we have Joshua Fortune, who's on screen now, setting a personal best in the last sector, or the last mini sector, but two slightly slower sectors than his previous lap in the first two, so we don't look to be improving that. We also have Cooper Highwater on track in the Red Bull livery. He has 3 personal best sectors. Where can he shoot up to on the timing charts as he crosses the line? He goes to P9 in this one. At the time of recording, this is top split in the Global Mazda MX-5 Fanatec Cup for this time slot. And we are in a late afternoon Asia Pacific time slot as well. As the session progresses to the race, we have a quick look at the grid before everything progresses. So we've got Haiyan Jing in P1, pole position, with a 144.68. Sebastian Guest Jr. sharing the front row with him. Joshua Fortune and Hitoshi Matsumoto rounding out the second row. Russell Bean and Takuya Hirano in the third row. Mal Michelle and Bradley Oldfield, followed by Cooper Hightower and Ryan Avila. Jessica French, P11, and Ayag Uyama in P12. And that rounds out this session. Only the 12 runners, which is interesting for a top split MX-5 race. Now, as I said, so we're counting down to race start. We will try to keep an eye on all the action. Based on the qualifying times, it looks like Haiyan might run away with it. As I mentioned at the top of the broadcast as well, we're going to be focusing not on league positions. We're not focusing on making gains in a hosted series or anything like that. This is an official race. So as you can see on the timing tower, we have the iRating gained and lost potential. Now this will be dynamic and updated throughout the race as we get ready to go green. Get a nice picture of the whole grid here. 5 red lights, and we have the green flag as they get off and racing. Haiyan Jing off to a fantastic start. Lovely stuff there. We have already some movers and shakers within the midfield. Bradley Oldfield making up his position there. So we come around the first sequence of corners. We're going to be keeping a close eye on any battles. We've got Russell Bean here looking to make a move on Matsumoto. We'll have a look down in the midfield as well. Jessica French has had a fantastic start, up 3 places into P8. She takes the inside line into the big hairpin here, holding the inside line, going very defensive. Looks like a good move. She keeps that spot. Oh, we've had a bit of contact. We have had some contact. Joshua Fortune has gone off. Now let's see what's gone on here. Oh, I think we've had a blinker. I think some issues there might have been caused by a blinker. Very unfortunate. We will go back to live pictures as we resume this look, and Jessica French is making inroads. She's now up 6 places to P5 and hunting down Bradley Oldfield. Let's ride on board here momentarily with the Australian. She's got the eyes on, looking to make a move into turn 1, is she? We have Joshua Fortune, unfortunately, after that contact in the pits. Hopefully not repairing too much damage there. Jessica French goes for the inside, having a look. Bradley Oldfield's under a lot of pressure here, but also Mal Michelle behind is looking to capitalize on any mistakes French makes. We'll follow this battle for just a short period more, because up the front of the field, we actually have... Oh, and actually Mal Michelle has been passed there by Takuya Hirano as well. So while we were watching that battle, in the background, you can see that light blue MX-5 just takes the inside. Fantastic move. Nice and neat. Easy as they come. Fantastic. Now we go back live. Michelle back up the inside of Hirano. Gets that move back. Gets that position back, I should say. This battle is not over, though, as Hirano comes back through. What a fantastic ding-dong battle. They are fighting very hard here, nose to tail. And in the background, we also have... Oh, it looked like there might have been a move there between Rainer Villa and Ayag Uyama. Villa gets it a little bit loose in the back end there. Everything seems to have settled down a touch. Some fantastic battles here. We should absolutely highlight the race leader, Jing. They are just starting to skip away. So during those first 2 laps, or first 3 laps, I should say, it was close between Sebastian Guest Jr. He was keeping tabs on Jing, and only just now has that gap stretched out to about 1.1 seconds. Now let's go back to this battle between French, Hirano, and Michelle. Hirano is looking to stay close to French, go on board with Takuya here, as well as they look to make a move. Some fantastic racing. So we have 12 laps for you today from the fantastic Okayama International Circuit. Hopefully we continue to have this amount of action. The MX-5s always provide a great race. They're very slidey, very capable of being raced hard, so you often get very close door-to-door racing, as we've seen so far in the opening phases of this one. French has got a great run out of that corner and is looking to get on the back of Oldfield. Meanwhile, Oldfield also is looking to just keep in touch with Hitoshi Matsumoto, who has lost the back of Guest Jr., Sebastian Guest Jr. So things are settling here, I would say. A nice drafting battle pack up the home stretch as Oldfield holds off French once more. We don't know how long that patience is going to be held by Jessica French. It looks like she is quite racy and has a lot of pace in hand. Now, as it stands, as I keep mentioning, the iRating gains and losses. So Mal Michelle is on that bubble, sitting at 2.1k of not losing too much, but potentially losing one iRating point. Hirano looking to gain 13, French gaining 28 as it stands. And look at this battle pack down the back straight as we come up to the hairpin. Ooh, Oldfield thinking about a move there on Matsumoto. French right on Oldfield's bumper. Let's just keep tabs on this. This looks like it could get feisty. Everyone absolutely racing hard, but fair at the moment. This is a fantastic battle. Oh, French covers. French covers Oldfield. Oldfield. No, they haven't got past. Some fantastic racing. What an awesome battle for our first broadcast here. So we stay as we were. Jing, Guest, Junior, Matsumoto, Oldfield, French, Hirano, Michelle, Uyama, Avila, Hightower, Bean, and Fortune rounding out the 12. Oh, some fun and games as Matsumoto doing a bit of weaving on the home straight to break the toe. There is a decent toe here in the MX-5s, but if you're in a train like this, a DRS train if you would in F1, they're all getting about the same benefits, so doesn't necessarily leave anyone with a huge advantage. Matsumoto leads the crew, leads the pack. While if we jump to the leader, Jing is off into the distance, still not skipping away. He hasn't checked out from Sebastian Guest Jr. Guest Jr. just back 1.3 seconds and is comfortably sitting in there as well. Last laps, relatively similar. There was a 9/100ths of a second difference between Jing and Guest Jr. And we've got to move here. We've got to move. French goes up the inside of Oldfield. Oldfield now under attack from Hirano. This is some fantastic racing. Let's see if Oldfield can hang it around the inside. Oh, and we've got one off. We have... Oh, boy. Oh, that was a big crash. Big crash. We have Hitoshi Matsumoto off the track. And it's... You tell me. Let's all make up our own minds on that one. I am going to say a disconnection. If we go inside the cockpit, we will see the true story, making the apex fine, and the wheel goes straight. Oh, heartbreak. Heartbreak for the Japanese. Hitoshi Matsumoto. Oh, that must be very, very hard to take. We rejoin live action, and we've, of course, had a shake-up to the order. Jessica French now holds down the final podium place as she dips a couple of wheels into the dirt. So we've got Jing from Guest Jr. from French. So Jing starting to put the foot down now. Last lap 0.3 quicker than Sebastian Guest Jr. So there is a decent pace delta there. And then we've got Jessica French lapping another 0.3 of a second back from there. We have an enormous battle unfolding here between Mal Michelle, or Bradley Oldfield, and Aeg Uyama. Let's see how this goes. Michelle hanging around the inside, gets the spot from Oldfield. Oldfield now under pressure from Uyama as well. Uyama just settles in there nicely. But then we've got even more pressure here from Ryan Avila. Avila from speedshop51.com Racing wants to get on this action. So he is P8 as it stands at the moment, wanting to get into this action. It's just fantastic battling up and down the grid. Oh, Oldfield stuck the nose in there where it definitely didn't belong. Mal Michelle probably didn't appreciate that one too much, but they stay clean. No harm, no foul. As we head back onto the main straight, Jessica French still holding down P3. And once again, we have the draft battle. And probably the key battle here would be Ryan Avila wanting to get involved. Takes a tight inside line. Is it going to be enough? They're side by side. No, probably one quarterback. Uyama holds onto the position, but is looking a little vulnerable, if I will say, from Ryan Avila. Avila all in the mirrors of the Japanese driver at the moment. And Jessica French has gone off. She was holding down the podium. Oh, we've had two. Seems like there might be something happening here with the third position. And she's just lost it all on her own as well. That is heartbreaking considering how this race was going. She was up 9 places to P3. Incredibly disappointing. So we've had Matsumoto and French both losing positions from third place. And losing big positions from third place, I will add. Check back in here with the battle pack. We've got Oldfield holding off Avila and keeping tabs with Uyama. Probably a great opportunity to show our battle box here. And we'll have all three involved too. So Uyama, Oldfield, and Avila. Keeping an eye at the moment on Oldfield, who, again, as it has the last couple of laps, looks vulnerable. Avila having a great run here onto the main straight. Does he have a look up the inside? No. Very patient, very consistent and patient there. It's good to see. There's so much respect in this race. It's not a huge strength of field. We've got a strength of field, as you can see up the top of the screen there, of 2.3k. So you would think at this sort of level there would be a lot more mistakes. There would be battling and coming to blows, which just has not been the case. And we actually have, just ahead of us, as we just have a quick look at this one, we do have Uyama, who has gotten past Bradley Oldfield. And we can see there is a bit more to this story, I think. Uyama gets past, and what do we have here from Oldfield? So Oldfield gets pushed out wide. Avila goes around the outside and then goes to the switchback. Oh, no, holds it. Because I've just seen, no. Just follow this replay one more corner and see what happens here. Because Ryan Avila, no, and we go back to live pictures, and Ryan Avila again on the back of Bradley Oldfield. We've got this battle continuing. What an awesome race. Nine laps completed out of 12, and we've seen action from front to back. We can probably go back here as well, as we've got Jessica French, who is lighting up the timing towers in terms of lap times. She's looking to fight her way back. She was P3, unfortunately now shuffled back to P9 after that mistake. But as we go, we will check on our current third place driver, Takuya Hirano, who is being chased very keenly by Mal Michel. Michel looking to keep the pressure up and force a mistake, because there has been 2 very high profile mistakes from our third place runners in this race. I know Uyama and Oldfield, and Ryan Avila for that matter as well, will be very keen to figure out how they might be able to force a mistake here from Hirano. As Michelle goes very tight, very narrow, leaves the door open for Uyama in the orange and green tribute, I will say tribute Mazda 787B livery. It's a very nice looking livery, if I do say so. And what regularly happens with these broadcasts, it's only 12 laps, we want to highlight as much action as possible because that's what all these official races are full of, absolute action and excitement. We do sometimes forget Haiyan Jing is 4 seconds to the good over Sebastian Guest Jr. He has not put a foot wrong, and I guess that's what you would expect from a 5.7k driver as well. He's done fantastically well. Again, only lapping sort of 0.5 quicker than the second place driver. Speaking of Jessica French again, she is on race pace. So she is lapping almost identical to our race leader as well. So it's a case, I would say, of what could have been for Jessica French. She definitely had the pace to get up there and maintain P3, if not put the pressure on Sebastian for P2 and try to lock out the front row there, but wasn't to be. And I guess we will highlight as well Sebastian Guest Jr., similar to Jing, has not put a foot wrong, is lapping very consistently. Best time, only 9/100ths of a second away from Jing. And for a 2K driver and nothing more, this is going to be a big haul of iRating. So he looks to gain 85 at this stage. And hats off to him. It's been trouble-free. It's been, I would say, anonymous. And that's a compliment in these sorts of races. You want to just do your thing and hope that everyone else around you is involved in these sorts of battles so that you can skip off into the distance and not be involved. So as we come back to this enormous train, the enormous battle pack, we have Takuya Hirano holding off the rest for P3. Those rear tires look like they've seen better days at this point. He is absolutely fighting the rear end of this Mazda as we come into almost spinning the rear wheels, just getting it turned. It sticks one wheel on the dirt, and we've got this draft battle once again. No weaving, so real kudos to Hirano there, not looking to try any fun and games to break the toe of the other two drivers, which is fantastic because Uyama and Michelle are very keen to get involved in this. Oldfield, I feel, has been very patient, very consistent all race. And Ryan Avila, same sort of story. Not sticking his nose where it doesn't belong, not looking to upset too many people. Oldfield again, just ducks in. Oh, very close there to Uyama's rear bumper. Let's go on board with Ryan Oldfield. Bradley Oldfield, because that is about as close as you can get. There might even be a bit of bump drafting there. He looks to the inside, thinks better of it, but we do have... Mal Michel thought about it. That was close. That was about as far as you can go without committing to the corner. He pulled out last minute and thought, you know what? We've still got another 2 laps here. Let's wait for a mistake. It has happened in this race so far. I can't give these guys enough credit. This has been such a fantastic battle. Uyama goes narrow. Michelle again very tight, and this is all allowing Hirano to... Oh, and again we see Avila just not prepared to risk it all. Avila is on that bubble, so he's 2.8k. He is the one that is looking to actually miss out on a big haul of iRating at this stage, as we've got Uyama and Avila both taking the inside line. Let's see if anyone commits to it. Uyama, and we've had a big one. As the guys keep going, we will have a look at a replay very shortly, but we've got Mal Michel there taking the inside and holding that position.
Sorry about that.
We have an apology over radio from Mal Michel as well, because I think what we will see here is a bit of a tag. Michelle goes up to the inside.
I raced with you the last couple of nights. I didn't even see what happened. I know it's probably your fault.
There is a bit of net code, a bit of an element of net code in that as well. So very unfortunate for Aeg Uyama, who has had a fantastic race up to that point. We are on the last lap, so we will leave replay mode to go back to live pictures, and we will watch as our race leader, Haiyan Jing, who again has not put a foot wrong here, goes around the last couple of corners. He's got the white flag. Comes down to the last corner.
Really? You want to cut me off?
And he will take the checkered flag. Very deserving. 5.2 seconds ahead of Sebastian Guest Jr. Fantastic race from Haiyan. Congratulations to him, and hopefully he can watch this broadcast back and bask in his glory. We then have Sebastian Guest Jr. crossing the finish line next for P2. And then comes the battle pack. We have a sprint to the finish line between Oldfield and Avila. Avila actually got there in the end.
P7 starting the back, not racing anybody.
Which is amazing. Absolutely amazing. We actually had, just see if we can have a look at this replay. It all started from the final corner. So Avila went for that move that he was very bold not to take at multiple times during this race. Oldfield tucks in there, but Avila gets the better line through the last sequence of corners. Oh, what a fantastic move that was. That was an absolutely fantastic move. We then have, so this is this into the final corner? No, it's not. This is just gonna cycle through here a little bit so we can get to the checkered flag, because I'm thinking this might have been a photo finish. It certainly looked close. Avila goes very wide there. Their nose to tail coming into the last corner. And this is where the drag race came in. Avila goes to the inside to take the narrowest possible line. No, so it's not quite a photo finish, but it is a very close finish indeed. Congratulations to the whole grid. That was fantastic. That was as close as you could get from an official race on iRacing here. Just phenomenal. Phenomenal racing from everybody. So as we mentioned previously, so Haiyan Jing takes the win, 5.3 seconds over Sebastian Guest Jr. We have to then go another 9 seconds back to Takuya Hirano, who had a fantastic race in the orange and green Mazda livery. Ryan Avila came from many places down. He caught up 6 places during that race, an amazing game. We then have Bradley Oldfield taking out P5 for United Sim Sports, Mal Michelle P6, Cooper Hightower P7, Jessica French unlucky to spin out from P3. She holds down P8. We have Russell Bean in P9. Ayeg Uyama incredibly unlucky to get taken out there, also in a very favourable position, who ends up in P10. Then have Joshua Fortune P11 and Hitoshi Matsumoto rounding out the 12 and rounding out this race. Guys, I have had such a great time broadcasting this for you. I hope you have enjoyed this broadcast. Be sure to like the page, subscribe to the channel as well to get notifications as well for the next race that gets broadcast. You never know which race it's going to be. You can see the link there at the bottom of the page. If you want your race to be broadcast and you run a regular series, send it in, write a comment on the video, and I'll do my best to find you and broadcast your next race. Until then, guys, enjoy.